G'day guys, how's it going? I'm Aaron Whitnell, this is ACWSport, and here are my predictions for week 11 of the 2017-2018 Premier League season, starting with the 12:30 kickoff on Saturday, which sees Stoke hosting Leicester. And Leicester, they put in a very good performance against Everton. Demarai Gray's had one hell of a week. What was for me a man of the match display against Everton. Then he signed the new contract. Stoke, they picked up a massive win at Watford. However, I just think because Leicester are under a new manager and Stoke have struggled a bit this season, especially at home, which is quite surprising, I think Leicester could sneak this. So I'm going to go Stoke 1, Leicester 2 in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if Demarai Gray puts on another solid display. I'm going to back him and Jamie Vardy to score in this game for Leicester. Moving on to the 3 o'clock kickoffs now. The first one, we have Newcastle hosting Bournemouth. Newcastle look very well organised. Bournemouth have struggled a bit this season. And even though Newcastle lost away at Burnley in the week, I do think that they will have enough to overcome Bournemouth in this game. So I'm going to go Newcastle 2, Bournemouth 1 in this game. Then we have Swansea versus Brighton, an interesting game towards the bottom of the table. I would normally say Swansea, but Swansea have kind of let me down when I predicted they'd win in what are effectively kind of big games for them with other teams that you'd expect to be around them this season. So I'm going to go for a draw in this game just because Brighton haven't managed to get any kind of proper momentum behind them in terms of win-win-wins. So I'm going to go 1-1 in that game at Swansea. Southampton versus Burnley, I see it being kind of similar to Swansea versus Brighton really. Neither side is in particularly good form. I mean, don't get me wrong. All right, let me start that again. Burnley are in very, very good form. Southampton do struggle at home. And because of this, I would normally say this fixture would be a draw. But for me, this fixture, I think Burnley could sneak 2-1. So I'm going to go for a bit of a bold call there. But Burnley are performing very, very well so far this season. And that's why I think they may just edge Southampton. Huddersfield versus West Brom. Another massive game down the bottom of the table at the moment. West Brom are in abysmal form. Huddersfield kind of are a bit stop-start because obviously they beat Manchester United, then they got hammered by Liverpool. However, I do think in front of their own fans, they do have the advantage here. And I'm going to back them to beat West Brom 2-1, which of course will pile lots of pressure on Tony Pulis. I do think West Brom will be okay in the end, but I just think they're in a bit of a rut in terms of form. And then finally, the 5:30 kickoff on Saturday sees West Ham hosting Liverpool. As we all know, Bilic is under a lot of pressure. Klopp as well, but I just think Liverpool got too much quality for West Ham. I think West Ham will score because Liverpool haven't got a very good defence, if they go for it, of course. I mean, Huddersfield didn't, which is why they didn't score. But overall, I see Liverpool running at 3-1 winners. I'm going to back either Antonio or Hernandez to score for West Ham, but I'm going to back Firmino. I'm going to back Wijnaldum to get another goal, and also Mo Salah as well. So they're my predictions for Saturday. Sunday, one hell of a day. Tottenham, they host Crystal Palace in the first game of the day. And after their win against Real Madrid, you would expect Tottenham to be on the ball in this. They won't want a similar performance from when they beat Dortmund at Wembley and then they drew 0-0 at home to Swansea. But I honestly reckon Tottenham will just have too much confidence and quality after such a big win. I'm going to go Tottenham Hotspur 3, Crystal Palace 0 in that game. I'm going to back Harry Kane to score a brace and Dele Alli to get in the score sheet as well. Everton then host Watford at Goodison, and after what has been a tough start to life for David Unsworth at Everton, losing all 3 of the games he's taken charge of so far. Watford come into the game in very mixed form. They haven't won in their past 2 games. They played well at Chelsea but didn't get the win, and they were kind of average at home to Stoke. And I think if they continue the average performance, and don't forget it was a controversial performance against Stoke as well because Troy Deeney's now been suspended as well. I honestly think Everton do have a chance. I think this could be the game in front of their own fans where David Unsworth finally picks up his first win. So I'm going to go Everton 2, Watford 1 in that game. And now we're on to the big games of the weekend. It is effectively Manchester versus London. We have the first game at the Etihad, Manchester City versus Arsenal. And this game is going to be absolutely fascinating because both teams do play a very similar style of football. As we all know, Arsenal on their day can be unplayable, but they're just not at it often enough. Again, they've had a very stop-start season. City, of course, are just a machine, winning non-stop. They picked up a massive win in the week at Napoli, and I don't see that winning run coming to an end here. I'm going to go Manchester City 4, Arsenal 2 at the Etihad. I'm going to back Lacazette and Sanchez to score. Sanchez potentially heading to the Etihad in the summer, but I'm going to back him to score here. But I reckon Gabriel Jesus, Sergio Aguero and Kevin De Bruyne with a brace to get on the score sheet for Manchester City. And then we head to Stamford Bridge for the final game of the weekend. Jose Mourinho once again going back to Stamford Bridge where he used to manage Chelsea, this time taking Romelu Lukaku and Nemanja Matic. And this game is a real fascinating one because at the start of the week, I actually had Chelsea down to win this game. But their performance in Rome was so shocking that it's kind of made me change my mind a little bit. However, I don't think United, if they go there with the same attitude they had against Liverpool and to some degree against Spurs, I don't think United will run out winners. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw in this game. I'm going to back Morata and Hazard to score for Chelsea. And I'm going to back Romelu Lukaku and Marcus Rashford to score for Manchester United. I think Jose will be a bit more attacking because he does want, points against Chelsea. He doesn't want to lose touch with City, even though it's still early on in the season. Chelsea know that it is a must-win game because if they lose and City win, they will find themselves 12 points behind City already, which is frightening. So, they are my predictions for this weekend's Premier League fixtures. Please comment below. Let me know, what are your predictions? Do you agree with what I've had to say? Let me know. As always, I'm Aaron Whitnell. Please don't forget to subscribe to ACW Sport, and I will see you guys again soon.